Jacques Cousteau, The Fight to Conserve Our Waters. Because of Jacques Cousteau's campaign gaining so many supporters, women and children staged a sit-in on the tracks of the train carrying the nuclear waste to the dump site, and it was forced to leave. Jacques Cousteau then founded the Cousteau Society for the Protection of Ocean Life. Jacques Cousteau was born in Saint-André-de-Cubzac, France. When Jacques Cousteau was a child, he surprisingly did not do well in school, but he always had a passion for swimming. When he was recovering from a bad car accident, his friend gave him a pair of goggles so he could see when he swam in the ocean. As his love for the ocean grew, he made films and books that explained the importance of the sea. In 1943, Jacques Cousteau co-invented the aqualung with Emile Guénon. This allowed people to stay underwater for a longer period of time.
From 1962 to 1965, Cousteau invented the conch shelf numbers 1, 2, and 3. This allowed people to live underwater and conduct extensive scientific research.
In 1956, Jacques Cousteau created the film A Silent World.
In 1960, February 13th, France conducted their first nuclear bomb test called Jacques Blue in the Sahara Desert. France's nuclear bomb was so toxic that the Algerians are still badly impacted today.
France's nuclear weapon was powered by nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is made when uranium or plutonium, unstable isotopes, are surrounded by TNT. When it ignites, the uranium cannot escape from inside because the explosion is too dense.
Atomic energy officials and oceanographers held a meeting to discuss the impact of nuclear waste into the waters of France, Britain, and the U.S. in 1959. The oceanographers said that dumping large amounts of nuclear waste into the ocean could be dangerous because there was not enough knowledge to know what the effects could be.
Nuclear waste is the outcome of nuclear fission. The testing of Jacques Blue created a large amount of nuclear waste. The French government and the CEA, Atomic Energy Commission, needed a way to get rid of it and could see two possible options: to bury it underground or to dump it into the Mediterranean Sea.
The CEA decided to dump the nuclear waste into the Mediterranean Sea despite the oceanographers' opinions because they thought the public might not be as concerned. 2,000 tons of nuclear waste along with other toxic materials were being planned to be dumped. The dump site was located between Calvi and the towns of Antibes. It had deep water and no known current.
The CEA's plan to dump nuclear waste into the Mediterranean Sea came into the newspapers in 1960. They stated it would be completely harmless, even if all the drums spilled, which was very unlikely. They even said they had the oceanographers' support. When the oceanographers saw the newspaper, they were furious. They claimed they had no knowledge whatsoever of the CEA's plan. Vsevolod Romanovsky, an oceanographer, had recommended they do a small dumping of about 10 drums as an experiment, but the CEA had other ideas. They had planned to dump 6,400 drums. Oceanographer Jacques Cousteau was especially angered with the event. He disagreed with the idea of the dumping being completely harmless. No one had actually seen that there was no current under the water in the dump site. Jacques Cousteau dove with his team and took some underwater pictures, which proved that there was indeed current down there. Jacques Cousteau knew that if the drums spilled, the toxic waste could poison our drinking water and cause cancerous growths on fish and other sea creatures.
Jacques Cousteau made a newspaper article and made sure that everyone knew that the oceanographers had no idea about the CEA's plans and did not support them. It is a clean power source and full of possibilities, but as long as we're dealing with waste that we do not know how to handle, we should not pursue it. Jacques Cousteau. On the day of the dumping, Jacques Cousteau and the rest of the oceanographers had gained enough support to stage a sit-in on the tracks of the train carrying the nuclear waste. Many women and children sat on the tracks and the train was forced to leave. Jacques Cousteau's campaign was a huge success, and the CEA agreed to consult the oceanographers before doing any more large dumpings. In 1973, Jacques Cousteau founded the Cousteau Society, which is an organization that is still active today and aims to teach people about our oceans and their ecosystems. In 1996, Cousteau's ship, the Calypso, was hit by a barge and sank. In 1997, Jacques Cousteau died of a heart attack. He was buried in the Saint-André de Cubzac Cemetery.
Jacques Cousteau inspired our world. He stood up for the well-being of ocean life and campaigned tirelessly against many unfair practices. He helped us realize the importance of many animal species.
A lot of people attack the ocean. I make love to it. Jacques Cousteau.